In this lecture series, we are discussing about budgetary control and budgeting. Or put it this way, budgeting and budgetary control. While discussing about budgeting and budgetary control, in this very lecture, I'll be talking about cash budget. I would say that cash is the lifeline of any business. If you do not calculate proper amount of cash that is required in the business, you will not able to run your business smoothly. When I use the word cash and bank balance is same, because in business most of the transactions takes place in banking form. So I am presuming that this cash and bank balance is same thing, whether the money which you have in form of cash or whether the money you have in form of the bank balance in your current account, it is same thing, right? So while preparing the cash budget, it is important to find out that what are the different sources of revenues, what are the different sources of receipts from which we will receive cash in the business, irrespective of the receipt of the cash, whether of any nature. Similarly, you have to take into account under which heads you have to make payments in form of cash. Again, I am saying cash and bank balance. Cash and bank form means either you issue the check or you pay in terms of cash, is the same thing. Idea of preparing the cash budget is that at all point of time, you must have a right amount of cash with you. Neither the cash should be more nor the cash should be less, because we all know that cash is a barren asset. Cash does not in itself produce something. That is, if you keep cash idle, it is unproductive asset, unproductive money, right? But on the other hand, if you do not have sufficient cash in your business, if you fails to make payments at right time to your workers, to your vendors, to your suppliers, right, your whole image will be tarnished. That is, you will not able to grow your business the way you should if you are not able to make your payments in time as promised, right? So you must make payments, and for that purpose you must have the right amount of cash in your business so that you can make the payments as and when required as per the schedule. What it implies is that in business, in advance, we prepare cash budgets so that we know that what amount of cash we have at different point of time and what amount of cash we require, so that we can make necessary arrangements for that cash. So what it means is that, let me point out that it is one of the most important and one of the last to be prepared. So cash budget is very important budget which you prepare. There are different budgets which you prepare. You prepare production budget, you prepare sales budget, you prepare raw material budget, right? So various type of budgets, different type of expenditure budgets you prepare. We call it functional budgets, various functional budgets you prepare. And once all these budgets are being prepared, then finally by incorporating that, by taking into account all those budgets, by coordinating these different type of budgets, the cash budget is being prepared so that we know that where the cash requirements are and how the cash will be received over a period of time, when the period for which you are preparing the budget. So it is a detailed estimates of cash receipts from all sources, right? So different sources you identify that from which are the sources from which you will receive the cash. You identify as per the dates when they are expected to be received, right, while preparing the budgets. So the timing is very important, the schedule is very important, the dates are very important, the time period is important. So when you will receive the cash, the different sources you estimate. And similarly, cash payments for all purposes and the resultant cash balance during the budget period, right? So you must identify what are the different heads under which you have to make payment. You have to make payment for your raw material, you have to make payment for your expenses, you have to make payment to your workers, right? So all these different heads under which you have to make payments. At the time of preparing the cash budget, the budget committee must identify these cash payments, right? And the difference of the two, the balance is that how much cash balance we will have in the each period or on each day or the period for which you are preparing the budget. It is a device for coordinating and controlling the financial sides of the business to ensure solvency and provide a basis for planning and financing required to cover up any deficiency in cash. Right? It says it is a device for coordinating and controlling the financial side. See, financial side means that whatever the balance you have, the sources of finance you have, in the balance sheet there are two sources. One is called the sources of funds, other is called the application of the funds. Friends, traditionally the liability side is called the sourcing of funds, sources of funds, right? Financing side. And the asset side is where you use your where you use your cash. Fine. So asset side is the use of cash, and the liability side is sources of cash, from where the money has come. Not cash, I would say, from where the money is. We call sources of funds and application of funds, right? So it coordinates and control the financing side of the business, and it ensures solvency. Solvency means that firm must see, if you are not able to pay your creditors in time, right? So if you are not able to pay your debtors in time, the people to whom you have to pay, not creditors, your debtors. If you are not able to pay your debtors in time, the firm will have a question mark on its solvency. So every firm must maintain the solvency, and for maintaining the solvency, it must have proper cash in hand. When I say again cash in hand means bank balance, right? So that they can pay in time, because otherwise your debtors will not give you on a credit basis. When your credibility itself will be affected. So the cash budget idea is to ensure solvency and provide a basis for planning and financing required to cover up any deficiency in cash. So at a point of time, if there is a deficiency of cash, you can provide provision that from where you will raise the money so that you can pay in time. That is the very idea of preparing the budget. So now let's discuss point wise what is the purpose of preparing cash budget. It ensures that sufficient cash is available when required. This point we have discussed, that every time when as per the requirement, cash should be available. Again, friends, when I am saying the cash should be available, it does not mean that you keep excess cash. Keeping excess cash is an unproductive thing, right? It reduces the profitability of the business, it reduces the profits of the business. You must have only sufficient cash, right? So you must not, don't confuse that the first should have more cash, not more cash. Sufficient cash means as per the exact requirement of the business. That is the very purpose for which we are preparing the cash budget, so that the planning and controlling of cash becomes easier. It indicates cash excesses and shortage. So if you prepare the cash budget, you know in advance when the money will come from sales, how much cash sale, how much credit sales. When you make credit sales, how many days or in how many months the people to whom you sell your goods on a credit basis, when they pay you, right? So for that, keeping the mind in cash sale, keeping the mind on other sources of revenues, other sources of cash received, you can find out period wise, day wise, month wise, week wise, whatever your time horizon is, right? That when you will receive the cash, and if at any point of time, if there is any shortage, you can make it, and they will make proper provision for that. It establishes a sound basis for credit. When you have good cash budget in place, obviously people will trust you. Your suppliers will trust you, because they know it that if we sell goods on a credit basis, means to the firm, to your firm, then they know it that they will get their money back in time. So if this credibility is there, it will provide a sound basis for the credit to your business. it shows whether capital expenditure may be financed internally. Friends, we all know that there are two types of expenditure in the business. One is called revenue expenditure, other is called capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure are those expenditure which are being incurred for, which are of recurring nature and which are being incurred for day-to-day business operations. Capital expenditures are expenditure which creates asset for the business, which has a use of normally for more than 1 year. Those expenditures are called capital expenditure. You want to buy a machine, right? So you want to buy a machine, normal, if you ask to an individual, you will say capital expenditure is being financed through long-term sources. But if your business has right amount of cash, you can find out whether this capital expenditure can be financed through your current sources only, right? So what it means is that capital expenditure which you have to incur, if you prepare proper cash budget, you can know that whether this capital expenditure will be financed through your internal sources itself, with your recurring income itself. Recurring income means recurring cash receipt which you are having. So you can find out whether you will have to make provision separately for capital expenditure or you can make from your own sources, right? It establishes sound basis for control of cash position. So when we have a cash budget in place, right, we have cash budget properly prepared, right? So it will help us in knowing and in controlling the cash position of the business. Neither we will keep more cash nor will allow to have less cash where we find it difficulty of solvency or we are not able to pay in time. Now, after discussing the purpose and the meaning of the cash budget, right, what purpose does it solve, how the cash budgets are being prepared, I would say, friends, there are three methods of preparing cash budget. One is called receipt and payment method, the other is called profit and loss method, and third is called balance sheet method. So these three methods by which we prepare the cash budget. Let us understand one by one how you prepare cash budget under each of these three methods. First is, not that they are in order, I am saying first we are discussing receipt and payment method. Receipt and payment method is normally being used for short-term cash forecast. If you are forecasting your cash requirement, you are preparing your cash budget for a short period of time, right, we may use receipt and payment method. There is no hard and fast rule for it, but normally for short-term budgeting, we use receipt and payment method. What is short-term, what is long-term? Depending on various factors, depending on the nature of business, depending on the manufacturing cycle, these are the various factors which determine whether you call it a short period or a long period, right? So receipt and payment normally being used for short-term cash forecasting. The cash budget begins with the opening balance of cash in hand at bank, right? So whatever in the month, suppose I am preparing the budget of say February 2021. So on the 1st of February, what is the cash and bank balance I have, right? It starts with there. To this, we will add the estimated cash receipts from the various sources, and from this will be deducted. Means in the month of February, if I am preparing the cash budget of February 2021, right? So what I'll do, that I'll add up all the sources, the receipts, which I'm going to have in the month of February from all different types of sources, whether from sales or by selling even asset, right? Suppose you dispose of some of your asset, a car is being used in your business purposes and you dispose it of, a truck is being used for business purposes, you dispose it of in the month of February 2021, right? So the cash is being received, or cash or check, bank money is being received in the business. So I'll point out all these sources, I'll lift down all these sources, and then I'll read all the receipts, right? And from this sources, I will deduct all estimated payments of cash. So whatever the payments we have to make during the month of February, we will minus it. So it is of capital nature or it is of revenue nature. All types of receipts and all types of payments, whether capital or revenue. Again, let me point out capital and revenue. Revenue means which are of recurring nature, which are of which for day-to-day business operation you incur. Capital means for long term, right? So this capital and revenue receipts and payments are being recorded. The resultant figure is closing cash balance. To sum it up, what is happening is that in the month of February, all receipts and all payments are being recorded, and accordingly cash budget is being prepared. So this is, friends, receipt and payment method. Then the other method is adjusted profit and loss method. It is suitable for long-term cash forecast. That is, receipt and payment is by and large used for short-term cash forecast. Adjusted profit and loss account is being used for long-term cash forecast. It is based on the view that it is the profit that is the source of cash in the business. Friends, this point is very important, that while we prepare cash budget by adjusted profit and loss account method, we presume that whatever the profit that is being generated by the business, that is the source of cash in the business, right? So it presumes that source of cash, profit is the source of cash in the business. Profit as per profit and loss account is converted into cash figure by preparing an adjusted profit and loss account. Means from the profit and loss account we prepare adjusted profit and loss account. I will tell you how we prepare it, right? All those items of income and expenditure like depreciation, provisions, which do not involve an inflow or outflow of cash are adjusted in the forecasted profit figure to arrive at the figure of cash made available by profit. What it means is, friends, that say for example in business there are certain expenditures which you write in the profit and loss account, like depreciation. You make various provisions. These provisions, these depreciation amounts, different figures of depreciation, depreciation of machine, depreciation of this, depreciation of that, all these depreciation does not involve any cash outflow. It is only a bookish entry that the asset which you have purchased in the past, against the use of that asset, you are charging some amount of depreciation in every period, right? So, but this does not involve any outflow of cash. Same is the case with the provision. So, depreciation, provisions, these are called non-cash expenditure. So, these non-cash expenditure or receipts in which we don't receive the money, where only the bookish entry notional amount is being received, right? For all those, these entries, these figures are adjusted for the profit and loss account, and we arrive at adjusted profit and loss account. So this will reveal that what will be the cash that will be available in form of cash from the profit and loss account. So adjusted profit and loss account is often termed as cash flow statement because it converts the profit and loss account into cash forecast. So that is, under the profit and loss method, the profit and loss account is adjusted to prepare cash forecast. And third method is the balance sheet method. How we prepare? Used for forecasting cash requirements for long periods and is rather similar to adjusted profit and loss account method. So this method, balance sheet method, is also being used for forecasting long-term cash requirement, right? So under this method, a budgeted balance sheet is prepared with all items of assets and liabilities except cash or bank. See, the way you prepare balance sheet, in a similar manner, you can prepare the balance sheet. The only difference is you don't make the entries of cash and bank balance, right? The way you prepare the liability side, the way you prepare the asset side, you prepare all these, you write down all the items of assets, you write down all the items of liabilities except cash and bank balance, right? So this you don't write, otherwise you write down all the entries. the two sides of the balance sheet, this is important friends, the two sides of the balance sheet are then totaled and the balancing figure is taken as cash. If the liability side is greater than asset, it means there is a cash or bank balance in the business. Because at some point of time in this very lecture I said the liability side is the sources of side of the business and the asset side is that where you apply your funds, right? So if your liability side is greater than the asset side, it means there is a cash, because as we know that the two sides of the balance sheet must agree. If the liabilities is more, your sources of funds, your money which from where you have received the money is greater than your asset side, right? It means there is a cash or bank balance. Or if your asset side is greater than the liabilities, it means it is a bank overdraft, right? So you must have borrowed from the bank. So this is the way you prepare cash budget under the balance sheet method. Now very quickly friends, let me take one example. I'll take only 1 month or 2 months and then I'll explain, right? A company is expected to have 25,000 cash in hand on 1st April 2020. Means if I take 20 as a base, on the 1st of April you have cash in hand to the extent of 25,000 rupees. And it requires you to prepare cash budget for the 3 months, April to June 2020. The following information is supplied. What you are given is that you are given sales figure, purchase figure, wages and expenses of February, March, April, May, June, right? So you are being given these sales figure, purchase figure, wages figure from say February to June. And the other informations are that period of credit allowed by suppliers is 2 months. That is, whenever you purchase goods from your suppliers, they allow you 2 months credit, right? 25% of sales for cash and other period, and the period of credit allowed to customers for credit sale is 1 month. So whatever sales, say for example here you are being given the sales of May, 1 lakh rupees. What it means is out of this 25,000 will be cash, that is 25,000 rupees will be cash in the month of May, right? And customer sale is 1 month, that is the sale which you will make in month of May, the cash which you will receive is in the month of June, because you allow credit to your customer to the extent of 1 month, right? So 25,000 rupees you will receive in the month of May for May sales, and rest 75,000 rupees you will receive in the month of June. Delay in payment of wages and expenses is 1 month. All those expenses and wages which are being shown here, you will make the payment next month. May expenses of 8,000 will be paid in the month of June, right? And the June expenses will be paid in the month of July. The May wages of 10,000 rupees will be paid in the month of June, and June wages will be paid in the month of July. So delay in payment of wages and expenses are 1 month. We pay next month, right? 1 month. Income tax of rupees 25,000 is to be paid in the month of June 2020, right? So income tax, as you know, we have to pay advance tax. So in these months, the month of June you have paid, you have to make a provision of 25,000 rupees for income tax purposes, right? So for this you have to prepare the budget from April onwards, April, May, June. Suppose you are being asked to prepare 3 months. Let me explain of the month of April only. So opening balance for the April is 25,000 rupees. Cash sale. See, what does the sales says? Sales says that when you make sales, when did you receive the money? Period of credit allowed by suppliers is 2 months. 25% of sale is for cash, and the period of credit is the allowed customer is 1 month. So in the month of this, see this opening balance is 25,000 rupees. So the cash sale in the month of April which you will receive, of April sale 25% will be received in month of April only, and previous month, that is the March sale, 75% of the March sale will be received in the month of April. Debtors means debtors allow you, the purchase which you make allow you 2 months credit. So April cash which you are receiving, the April sales which you are receiving is for the month of March, right? So 23,000 rupees out of the total April sale in form of cash, and 75% in form of the sales which you are receiving from the previous month sales, right? That is the March sales. Similarly, you will prepare for May and June, right? Next is for payment to creditors. The purchases which you have made, the suppliers give you 2 months credit. So the April payment which you are showing, it must be for the month of February, right? So the purchases which you made in the month of February, that will be paid in the month of April, right? The wages is 1 month, next month the wages is paid. So the March wages will be paid in the month of April. Expenses also you paid, there is a 1 month time lag in the payment of expenses. So the April expenses which you are showing, this belongs to the month of March. So in our example, the expenses of March will be paid in the month of April. The wages of March will be paid in the month of April, right? So in this way you have prepared all this. There is no income tax in the month of April. You make the payments of and the receipts of all this, that comes to be 55,000 rupees, and the closing balance is 53,000 rupees. So friends, the way you have prepared for April, similarly you can prepare for the month of May and June also, right? So friends, we'll continue with the discussion on cash budget in our next lecture on the cash budget. Thank you very much.